Hey, my name's Cody Pfeiffer, and this week we took to the Poetry Award and the idea of poetry in our reading as we read Love the Dog, the read aloud. But this week I read and wrote about After the Fall, a story about a children's rhyme that I'm sure we've all heard, and I'm sure most children have, Humpty Dumpty. This book was written by Dan Satat and published by Macmillan, and it's about 40 pages. It's a picture book with poetry in it, or poetry-like writing, and it's appropriate for about an eight-year-old age group. Now, this story of Humpty Dumpty plays into the idea of after he fell off the wall, and he was luckily put back together by the men, all the soldiers, as the rhyme tells, and the after effects of what happened after his fall. And really, this plays on the idea of bringing a moral to the story that kids can relate to and even adults can relate to, and that's the idea of fears. So after the fall, Humpty Dumpty establishes has this fear that permeates through him for the fear of heights. And this is, of course, due to him falling off the wall that he used to sit on all the time. Now, this, as the story pertains, this hurts Humpty, as one of his favorite hobbies was to sit on walls and, pretend to be in the sky and have fun and love being with the birds. But as we pertain throughout the story, Humpty's fear comes to kind of haunt him, and he wants to be remembered more than just the egg that fell off the wall, and creates this idealism where he begins to create planes to kind of get a feel for what it's like to fly in the sky. He works really hard to create just paper planes that he throws around and at least get one step closer to heights and flying, and being less afraid of flying or the height altogether. Finally, his hard work and creation of these planes allows him to establish the idea that I put all this hard work into this, I can climb the ladder to get back on that wall. So Humpty finally decides to, face his fear and begins to climb the wall, begins to, reach back up to the top where he had once been and sit among the birds. And in the end, he ends up getting to where he once was. And the finishing line in the story really plays a cool role in this, the idealism of the morals. As he says, maybe now I won't be remembered as the egg that falls, but instead the egg that got back up. And the moral of the story is to face your fear, to, not have it stop you from doing what you love, as Humpty's love was to be in the sky, to be high up and love with the birds, and that fall had created this fear for him of heights. And in the end, he's able to defeat that fear and get back to where he wanted to be. So the story, its illustrations are very bold, very extravagant. They pop from the picture, and it shows a very strong detailing in the work. And it's really something that would capture a child's attention. It's a really, really good illustrations. They're not like fancy or exquisite, but instead just really eye-catching and fun to look at. And it, develops throughout the story of him facing his fear and him getting back to where he wanted to be in the sky. And really, that moral story can be pertained to anyone, not just kids. We can see anyone has the need to face their fears, as pretty much anyone could have fears or phobias that develop throughout their lifetime. So really, the moral of the story is to work hard, beat your fear, get back to where you want to be. Don't let it stop you from doing certain things, because fear, it's something that you can beat, and it's only temporary. And that moral of the story is something that the story written by Dan Satat really can pertain to anyone, and the idea of beating one's fear, told through the story of a character that we all know and we've all possibly, kind of empathized with, as we get a different perspective on what it's like. We all imagine him, we all recognize him as the person that fell off the wall, and throughout the story it kind of gives you a different perspective of what it's like after the fall.